Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope you all are doing well today. Elliot here, and welcome back to the Fragrance Well. We're gonna go ahead and do the Valentine's Day fragrance list, so to speak. I've got 8 fragrances here that I think make great Valentine's Day event, occasion, night out, date night, whatever it may be. These all can work in my opinion. Obviously, if you have a significant other, I would suggest you just wear something that your significant other enjoys. If you've been with them any period of time, then you already know what they kind of like. Some of these are included for me, myself, some stuff I know my wife likes. I have them in this list, so kind of selfish choices. And others I think can just kind of work well in general. But, it's up to you to decide what will work for a Valentine's Day scent. These are just merely suggestions. So let's go ahead and get it started. But before we do, as always, don't forget to like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you do like the content, and remember to hit that bell icon and enable notifications so you can be notified when I upload new videos. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so I tried to cover a few different ranges and styles of fragrances here. We got some sweet ones, we got some floral ones, we got some ones with rose, we got some ones with oud, try to cover a few different styles. First up, from the house of Givenchy, this is Gentleman Reserve Privee. Givenchy Gentleman Reserve Privee. Out of the iris-based Gentleman line, I don't necessarily think this is the best. I do think Eau de Parfum holds that title, but what I do think about this one it is the sexiest. This is, of course, iris. It's quite powdery, it is quite creamy, it is quite sweet, but it features some chestnut, which is very, very nice, and it also features some whiskey, so it's a little bit boozy. I would just say this is boozy iris in general. I do get a little bit of a chocolatey smell from this. There is patchouli in the base, and I think it is pretty heavy in here, so I believe that's where that's coming from. So the fragrance, not necessarily gourmand, but it does have kind of a yummy facet to it, a little bit of an intoxicating allure to it, and I do think this can work very well for a very nice Valentine's Day or night out, whatever you want to use it for. So once again, from the house of Givenchy, this is Gentleman Reserve Privee. All right, next one, we got one that I think is just tried and true, and it is always going to be a great choice as long as you can get it. For the house of Tom Ford, this is Oud Wood. Tom Ford Oud Wood. I mean, if you're familiar with it, you already know. I mean, this is just a great night out fragrance in general, and certainly can work for Valentine's Day, and I don't care if it's one that's very popular, one that's been out a while. The fragrance works. You got a myriad of spices here. Got a little bit more of a pronounced cardamom note in this. There is definitely wood. You got sandalwood, giving it a little bit of a creaminess. You got some oud. You got some other facets to it, a little bit of an ambery touch. The fragrance just smells great. It's got that wearable oud, so to speak. More friendly to the Western Hemisphere, where oud is not as prominent historically. And the fragrance is just a great, sexy fragrance. Works great for Valentine's Day. I would say it's good if it's a new Valentine, as well as if you're taking out someone who you've been with for a while, unless they just don't like this fragrance, which I just kind of find that hard to believe. This is a wonderful scent. Great for Valentine's Day in my opinion. So once again, from the house of Tom Ford, we've got Oud Wood. All right, next up we got one that is 100% gourmand from the house of Novitus Parfums. This is Divine Aphrodisiac. Novitus Parfums Divine Aphrodisiac. So like I said, 100% gourmand. This fragrance to me pretty much smells like a super fancy upscale, if there was such a thing, peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's more peanut butter than anything. There's a peanut butter accord in this. There's a lot of sesame oil, which is very unique. It's not unheard of in fragrances, but I think used to the amount that it's used in here, it's a little bit unique. You got almond, you got coffee accords in this. Very gourmand fragrance. I mean, to me, there's nothing about it that isn't gourmand. Just a dash of spice off the top. I think there's like some cinnamon or something like this in here. Yeah, fragrance is very yummy, very sensual. And I think, that's a great Valentine's Day choice. I know a lot of people tend to go gourmand for like their date night choices or even Valentine's Day choices. I think this one can kind of help cover that. So if that's something you're into, if that's something your significant other might be into, here's just one that might give you that. So once again, from the house of Novitus Parfums, this is Divine Aphrodisiac. All right, still keeping it in that gourmand realm. We've got one from the house of Day 3 Fragrances. This is Tacita De Cafe. Day 3 Fragrances, Tacita De Cafe. So with this, you are going to get beautiful spices off the top, but you're going to get boozy coffee as the kind of baseline of what this fragrance is trying to convey, in my opinion. Coffee, booze in the form of rum, more of a fruity rum to my nose. Rum can be a number of different things. Love the spiciness that's in this one. And then there's just this sugariness that it has, kind of just sugar, brown sugar, I think is one of the accords in here. And it's just a really nice sweetness. It's not overly bubblegummy sweet, but it's just this balanced, sexy sweetness mixing with that boozy coffee that this has. Great for a night out, perfect for Valentine's Day in my opinion. Similar to Divine Aphrodisiac, like I said, very gourmand, but this one has a little bit more of a boozy touch to it, so you get that added aspect to the fragrance. So once again, from the house of Day 3 Fragrances, this is Tacita De Cafe. All right, next one's coming from the house of Kajal. We have got Lamar. Kajal Lamar. What a wonderful fragrance this is, kind of pineapple centric, has some red fruits, a little bit of spice, some floral aspects. There's a couple of different varieties of rose in this. To me, the fragrance pretty much smells like rosé wine with pineapple in it. It's very bright, very refreshing, but also very sexy and sweet at the same time. Great Valentine's Day scent. This one especially I think can work if you're going for a more outdoor venue. Not that the other ones can't, but this one smells really nice outdoors for some reason, but you know, it's not the only place you can wear it, but this is lovely. Great scent here, very sexy, and you gotta love that pineapple red berry combination that this has, mixing with the varieties of rose that are in this fragrance. So once again, from the house of Kajal, this is Lamar. All right, guys, next one's coming from the house of Oud Wood. We're gonna go a little bit more rose-centric with this fragrance. This is Lyric Man. Oud Wood Lyric Man. So as I stated, this fragrance is a rose fragrance. Very jammy rose fragrance. So you got a thick rose element to this. Beautiful lime and bergamot in the top. Boy, do I love that aspect. You also have some spiciness with this. And supporting the rose, it's kind of a bitter green aspect. There's like pine and galbanum in this. And then making up the base, you got a little bit of sweetness to kind of balance all of that out. You've got musk, you've got vanilla. There's also some sandalwood. Touch of a smokiness, kind of hiding way in the background. There is some incense in this also, but this is a great rose fragrance. If you smell it for the first time, you might not think this one would really work for this category, but trust me, it works, and rose in general can certainly work. Just a bit of a side note, I am definitely going to look into getting some other varieties of rose-centric fragrances in my cabinet. I've got a lot of fragrances that have rose, but I wouldn't say they're rose-centric, so hey, stay tuned for that. But all that being said, Lyric Man, great one for Valentine's Day in my opinion. So once again, from the house of Oud Wood, this is Lyric Man. All right, so the next one's coming from the house of Xerjoff, and this is Kemi. Xerjoff's Kemi. So this fragrance is sweet and animalic. You have got caramel and vanilla notes in this fragrance. The way I experience it, I think there's almost kind of like this caramel covered strawberry vibe to it. There's not strawberry listed, but that's just kind of how I experience it. And then on top of that, you've got animalic notes. You've got Laotian Oud, which is not strictly animalic, but it does have that characteristic. But you've also got castoreum and civet. Those can definitely have animalic facets to it. The sweetness does overpower the animalic nature of it, but if you smell it really close to your skin, you're gonna really get those animalic notes. So it's one that you have to let it do its magic in the air. But there is a sexiness to this fragrance that is tough to beat with a lot of fragrances, in my personal opinion. This one here is very high on the list to be my Valentine's Day scent for this year. Definitely a great option and something a little bit different. Not too many people are gonna wear fragrances that have animalic touches to them, but again, if you don't overspray it and you're not constantly smelling it on your skin, trust me, this one does its magic in the air. So once again, from the house of Xerjoff, this is Kemi. All right, final fragrance for this list, from the house of Arabian Oud, we have got Blue Oud. Arabian Oud, Blue Oud. Okay, now this one is a little bit more so for me. I know a lot of people would not go for this for their Valentine's Day choice, but they would if their wife enjoyed it or their significant other enjoyed it. My wife absolutely loves this stuff. I absolutely love it. And to be honest, I wouldn't really go with the fragrance. I would actually probably wear the oil. Oil is just a little bit more potent, but also a little bit smoother. Listen, if you want to take a leap on this one, you get your hands on it, I promise you. If you like oud in any kind of form, you will not be disappointed with this. But the oil is definitely better than the fragrance. It just kind of makes sense. You're getting a couple different varieties of oud with this, Cambodian oud and Indian oud, and it just kind of takes you on this journey of what oud can be. You get woody facets, sweet facets, resinous facets, green facets, some even kind of floral facets. It really does take you on a journey, but it just smells lovely when you wear it. And also with the oud oil, it just makes it that much more special. It's just more of an immersive experience, but definitely not going to be for everyone, so I can understand that. That's kind of why I put it last, but this one is top on the list for me possibly wearing it this Valentine's Day, so we'll see. But once again, from the House of Arabian Oud, I'll show the bottle because it looks a little bit better. This is Blue Oud. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. Let me know down in the comments below what's something you look forward to wearing for Valentine's Day, or have worn or like to wear, whatever you want to share. Look forward to seeing what you guys have to say. I appreciate you guys very much, and thank you for watching all the way until the end. Remember to be well and smell well, and I will see you in the next episode of The Fragrance Well. Have a good one.